I don't listen to what people say, cause you talk a lot don't really mean you know the way. Out here on my grind cause I'm trying to elevate. Get up in the morning, hit the ground and meditate. Ready for my day, got a plan, I don't need to wait. Mind clear, energy, and I'm feeling great. It's a good life, it could be another way. To me it's everything, never just another day. Nah.
Welcome to the No Titles Necessary podcast. It's your boy Demerit, dark and lovely.
It's your girl Hot Toddi.
What, nigga? Toddi what?
Actress, model, lover, fighter, and queen.
And waist bead wearing. Well, we talk from the streets to the politics.
And from the bed to the boardroom, baby.
What's going on, Toddi? We here.
We here.
In
we
the building.
in the motherfucking house.
And guess what?
What?
This is our 10th episode.
I can't believe it.
10 episodes.
I mean, I really can't believe it. Like
you really don't know what you're about to say right now.
No, I wanted to quote a song, but it's like, I don't believe you brought me this far and won't leave me. I just...
No. No, that shit ain't work.
It won't work.
Stop, man.
I thought it would. On? That's why I paused.
I know you thought
I was like,
it would work.
Would it work?
And because we love you and we tell you the truth.
And everybody was looking at me like, I'm like, I just got to do the shit. Just do the shit. And I did the shit and it didn't work. But it's okay.
So what's going on? How you feeling today on this 10th episode?
I'm actually feeling really good. Feeling kind of vulnerable or whatever.
You don't feel vicious today?
I don't feel that vicious.
You don't want to bite a bitch ear off today?
Nah, I'm feeling a little fluttery.
Or you feel like you want your weave pulled back a little bit?
Yeah, just not the edges.
Just not the edges. She need the edges.
The middle ground, yeah.
She need the edges. All right. So we back in the building, ladies and gentlemen, for the 10th episode. And this episode is titled...
Complexion.
Complexion. Ooh. Complexion don't mean a thing.
Complexion.
Hey.
Complexion.
Ooh.
I love my dark skin.
What was that?
You love your light skin.
It's like he was about to do a little tiger at the end of it. Like, what's the lady off of Boomerang? Oh, my
Eartha
Kiss.
Was that Eartha Kitt?
That's Eartha Kitt? Sean Jay.
Oh, Grace Jones, you want this? Okay.
You don't want this pussy. All right.
I wouldn't want that shit either. That pussy look aggressive than a motherfucker.
Vicious. All right, y'all. We about 10th episode, Complexion. Y'all already know we gonna get into it this episode, and it's gonna get popping. Trust me, because we're in a room full of dark-skinned people, and I'm sure this is one of those conversations, those elephants in the room. So we're gonna get into it. But before we get into that, we're gonna get into our first segment called
Talk Your Shit.
Talk Your Shit.
Talk your shit, dog.
Tell them what talk your shit about, Toddi.
Well, talk your shit is when we actually decide to talk our shit in a good way.
Wait,
because
what's up with this old computerized Siri voice?
Listen, I'm the Black Siri.
Go ahead,
okay?
you right. But you said City Girl version.
Well, this is the different version. And you know how Siri got options.
I don't know. I don't use Siri. I don't trust the host.
This another, this ain't Siri. This Serena.
All right, go ahead.
With the fat ass.
True.
So this is a portion of the show where we talk our shit about a company or someone in the community doing something wonderful, being Black. So today we're going to talk our shit to the Most High. D, are you ready?
Time out. How you that whole sentence? You just mixed two things in that sentence that shouldn't have been together. But we gonna go ahead and get into talk your shit, ladies and gentlemen. Are you ready to talk your shit, or have you done enough talking for right now?
I'm ready. You just talk first.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and talk my shit first. It ain't meeting. These perpendicular lines coming together. We need parallel lines. All right. So I'm gonna go ahead and talk my shit, ladies and gentlemen. On this episode, I want to talk about mentoring. And when I think of mentoring, I think of Black boys don't need more discipline. They need mentors. And here's the main reason why. Black boys' pain is often criminalized and punished instead of treated. Dealing with emotional support more than academics. So today, ladies and gentlemen, I want to talk my shit about William D.C. Clark, a retired firefighter and paramedic, known voice in the South Florida community, a community advocate and inner city activist for responsible education, which is called I CARE, Inner City Alumni for Responsible Education, which is a group of concerned alumni who have come together to develop methods, tactics, and strategies to fight against the
Iniquities?
Iniquities. No, but they don't say any iniquities. I wrote something else. The inequalities and even the playing field where our schools are concerned. Clark is the founder of DCS Mentoring Program and the former president of Miami Central Alumni Association. DCS Mentoring Boys is a mentoring program that mentors boys from ages 7 to 17 years old, and they do so in 2 15-week sessions during the calendar year. In Clark's words, he says, and I quote, "I'm as busy as ever doing everything in my power to elevate my community by any means necessary." If you want to get in touch with DCS Mentoring or either William D.C. Clark himself, you can follow them on Facebook and Instagram at DCS Mentoring Group. You can email them at dcclark, CLARK, 88 at gmail.com. You can also reach them at 305-342-5864. Again, 305-342-5864. And let's talk yo shit.
All right. That was good. Okay.
I think you tried to mess me up.
No, I didn't. I wasn't studying you.
Studying or stutting?
Well, I tried to say it so people can understand what stutting really mean.
Man, talk your shit. Who you talking your shit about today?
Well, today I'm talking my shit about Nobody Better Fitness. It's a fitness boot camp, ladies, where women are empowered and women's empowerment is the key. So, ladies, this lady is thebomb.com. She understands the female body as well as, I'm sure, the male body as well, but she deals in a lot of empowerment for the ladies. So I think we often struggle sometimes with our body weight. It fluctuates a lot more. Sometimes men can do the same regimen and lose 7 pounds in a week, and we have to take like 3 weeks to lose 7 pounds. So she is really good in the boot camp that she does. Her motto is, "I am not better than anyone, but there is no one better than me." And that is amazing. So homegirl, she serves the Tri-County area. She offers motivational fitness boot camps and classes. And she also offers personal sessions. So you could call her at 1-470-513-8476 to book your session or to join into the boot camp. Some people like to be encouraged with other groups. And you could also email her at preciouscaraballo@yahoo.com. So get your pen out. That's Precious, like Precious the movie. Caraballo, CARABALLO @yahoo.com. So make sure you get that booty lifted and that body right at Nobody Better Fitness.
Y'all heard it. Y'all go out there and support. If you got a young man out there, you want to put him in mentoring, you got a spot to put him now. If you want to go get that body right, ladies, you got a spot. All right, so let's talk your shit for episode 10. You ready to get into this?
I'm ready to get into it.
You ready?
I'm ready. You know
sure?
I'm ready.
You need your little pointer? You good?
Nah. Oh, well, you know what? Let me get my pointer because I might have to point at your ass. Just because when I agree, I'm going to be like, now that's dope.
Don't point at my ass.
Well,
Period.
It won't be at your ass. Period. It'll be
all right, man. We ready to get into this main topic, ladies. Watch out. We ready to get into this main topic. Y'all already know we're talking about complexion. Serious topic. So even if you hear us laughing, trust me, it's something that's near and dear to all of us in the room right now. We have Erica and even have KT in the building. And we all chocolate color folks.
Yes, sir.
So this is one of those topics that's going to hit home a little bit. So we're going to go ahead and get right into it. You ready, Toddi?
I'm ready.
All right, then let's get into this thing. What do you think about this old colorism, complexion thing that we got going on in society?
Oh, my God. I have so many questions.
Questions or?
Well, of course I have comments, but you always have questions behind most of what's happening. Like you question why it is the way it is, or you question it, why it can't be different. You know, so you have a lot of whys with with what's going on, you know?
Right.
That's why I say I have so many questions. You know, because
what's the first one that popped up to your head then?
Well, the question that pops up to my head first, do you even think colorism or complexion was something that was rooted in our parents? And our parents not only experienced it and it was taught to them that a color meant acceptance or a certain color or shade meant acceptance or it was a favorite of the masses.
Right.
So is it something that has to be programmed in our children right away to kind of pull us away from what society thinks and not to even separate children in the home based on their color.
But programmed in our church, I think, and you talking about our parents, I think you said it a couple of episodes ago, how you was talking about how your father was in slavery, how like we're not that much removed from slavery. So when we think about that in our parents and our great grandparents and our great grandparents and all that, like generations back, we have to realize that although there's been fighting within the community forever, like you're going to fight amongst your own. That's going to happen whether you're in tribes, whether you're in communities and you claim your hood, whatever it is, like there is going to be fights against each other. But when we talk about this colorism thing, it was deeply rooted during slavery. So if you think about that, because it's not a great thing, but if you're a strategic psychologist and in the things that they implemented on black people, you see it, right? So if I could pin you against each other, you're never worrying about me in the back end who's orchestrating everything. I'm like the puppet master, the ventriloquist that's orchestrating all the madness that's going on, and I'm able to sit back and say, damn, y'all over there fighting. Why y'all fighting like that? And you're the one that started it. So when I say that during slavery, we know that there's the light dark skin and there's the dark skin. Usually the light dark skins are who? The house niggas.
The house nigga, right.
The dark skin are the field niggas, right? So you had that divide going on right there, because now you have the dark skin who feel like the light skin should be out there working with them in the field and the cotton field and all day sleeping in the barn houses and things like that. And you have the light dark skins who looking down on them because they get to go in master's house. They get to have dinner with master every now and then and have these cordial conversations and
they don't have to sweat and pick cotton like everybody
They're humanized in a way, almost. So throughout the decades, what happened is you have the mulattoes, right? And they're more accepted by the whites than the dark skin. And I know this by experience, by being married to a light, high yellow woman. She's Haitian. Yes, you wouldn't know that by looking at her. You would think she's probably mixed with European or something like that. But what I've witnessed from that experience is that we'll be out at outings, her job outings, or in these conventions and these conferences and things like that. And these white people will go straight to her and hold full conversations and act like I'm not even there. Don't even acknowledge me. It takes her to be able to say, hey, this is my husband, such and such and such. This is who I always talk about. And it's like, oh, we hear all about you. And then they brush me right off. So I've witnessed it, experienced it, and I think it is rooted from then.
Yeah, and I think for us, we just want that to change so much. And well, it depends on what part you're talking about, because we want to feel united, and we all want to feel like we one color. Even though we're not, we're all the same.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
So we want to believe that we can all be in oneness at some point.
Should be.
That's what I mean.
Right.
But when it's a clear form of separation because of color, that's where the problem is, because now you're making one better than the other, or you're comparing now. Right. And that's why I mentioned it in households. Now I'm about to go personal right now. This personally happened in my home. And, God rest the dead, my mom and my father, rest their soul. But it happened in my house, in my home. I was the darkest of my mother's children. Me and my brother who passed away, God rest his soul. I was the youngest, and I was also the darkest. So my sister was before me 4 years. So she was the one before me, and then I was the last. And she was favored over me. I felt it. She was lighter. And when she was taken care of, she was taken care of differently. They would do her hair a different way. Wouldn't do mine like that. You was always something. And as kids, you see the difference, but you can't really express how you feel without getting whooped or somebody shunning you away like, child, that ain't. So as I got older, my sister and her boyfriend was sitting on the couch. I never forget this day. They were sitting on the couch and they was having a debate about, he couldn't believe that my sister was actually telling him, "Oh, I'm the favorite. My mom, I'm the favorite of the house." And he was like, "Whatever. Parents don't favor their kids. That's not true." She literally took him in the room to my mom to confirm this fact. So she took him in the room and she was like, "Mom, tell him who your favorite child is." And I followed like a little bit behind so I could hear this shit. So my mom was like, "You my favorite. Always have been."
You don't think that was out of just out of that moment, like a parent telling their child?
Listen,
that, you know what I'm saying?
It would have felt like that if it hadn't been happening all our life.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying?
Right.
So then it kind of was a confirmation for me. In that moment, I had to be like 14, 13, something like that. And I remember how I felt. I felt like shit. And I remember this was a part of my coming out of myself in terms of being able to just kind of speak up. Because I was, believe it or not, y'all, I was very quiet.
Who?
Me.
Who?
I would not talk. When I tell you, you can ask anybody in my family, I was the pin drop.
Oh, so you making up for the years now?
Probably. Everybody find their voice, and baby, when you find it.
Yeah.
And I was very quiet, observant kid, just sat back in the corner, never said nothing, was very quiet, big eyes, watching everything, but I didn't say much. Mm-hmm. And that day, I said, "Are you serious? Are you serious?" And I remember how hurt I was, and I was so hurt, and I think I carried that hurt for a long time. Mm-hmm. And I think it took me some time, like, to deal with it. I remember having an argument with me and my sister maybe a year and a half ago about that same thing.
That. It was deep rooted.
It was deeply rooted. It was dealt with, but it wasn't complete. Like, we talk about it, touch it, and then we get so mad till it was like, whatever, done with the shit. Mm-hmm. So we had an argument. We lost our cousin, and we were having breakfast, and it came up, and she was like, "You act like I can control that I was the favorite." And I said, I didn't say you can control it, but you can control how you behave because of how you were treated and how you treat other people.
So that's like that house nigga who telling the nigga, it ain't my fault that I'm in the house eating nigga, with
that I'm a little light skinned. It ain't my fault, but I'm gonna still treat you like shit.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I was like, when you tell everybody they overly emotional or passionate about something that you didn't go through, you can't do that shit because you went through that. And we had a whole argument about it. And it was a deeply rooted thing, and it does something to your spirit on some level. It's like we sitting here having this conversation. She does the same thing to her children, to my children. She tried to single out my children.
Ooh.
And say which one is her favorite. Yeah. And she does it with her grandchildren. This one is my favorite. And this ain't no shit or shade to my sister. I love my sister.
Yeah,
we have overcome so much, but I have to be honest in my truth.
Right.
And our life. Mm-hmm. And this was something that I think people are not conscious about. Like, it really feels like it's so embedded in who we are as a people that people just continue to, it's like generational curses.
I like how you said how it's embedded in there, because it's so deep down in there that we do it subconsciously now without even realizing or understanding what we're doing.
And then it becomes so embedded, it's now accepted. Like,
I don't know if it's ever accepted because we didn't accept it.
From the person who's issuing.
Oh, no, but you got to think of it. The person that is benefiting from it will never see it as a problem.
Right.
So if they're benefiting, and whether it be the house nigga back in the days or the light-skinned mulatto that's accepted into the corporate 500 companies right now, like, they know it's a problem, but until
they experience it themselves, they hold on to that shit. But until they experience it themselves, now can we all just get along? Yeah. Now can we all be at one? I need y'all to fight with me, or I need y'all to understand this is racial injustice. But now you want to say that when I was saying this shit 15, 20 years plus.
And here's the crazy thing. Although I experienced it growing up, being dark skinned, I didn't realize how much it had an effect on my life until I sat down with my uncle at my grandmother's funeral. So my father's mother passed when I was 21. I was fighting the case, 3 life sentences. I had a house arrest bracelet on. I had just got bond after sitting in jail for months, right? This is post-college football or during college football, right? So my uncle sits me down and I'm like, what's wrong, man? What's going on? Like, we getting ready for the viewing? And he's like, sit down. He said, your father's coming here. And so immediately, I'm everywhere because I've never met this guy. I've seen pictures of him. I know he was in the NFL. I know all of these things. I know he went to Northwestern. I know all of these things. And then he sat down and told me the story that my grandma, his mother, who we was there for her funeral, was the reason or a main reason why my father wasn't there. Because in high school and college, my father was talking to 2 women. One was a cheerleader, one was a track star. One was light skinned, one was dark skinned. And my grandma, when my mom became pregnant with me, told him, don't trust her. That ain't yours. She probably out there doing God knows what. You need to just go ahead on and be with
the light skin.
Which he ended up doing. And he ended up denying me for a year or 2. But in the midst of him denying me, she come in the picture And now I'm over her house as an infant, as a toddler, as growing up, and she embraced me, but she pushed her son away. So it was like, yo, like, damn, all this was going on. I was at Grandma's house in the Scott Projects every day, coming from Liz C. Evans. I was over there every single day, and I never knew it. She would always be like, oh, your daddy always ask about you. And so these underlying things, like I said, they happen subconsciously to us, man, and they affect us in so many ways. Like, even growing up as a dark-skinned brother, like, the females weren't looking at us first. Let's be honest. Like,
I wasn't never into the light skin, so I can't say
because you dark skinned, because you was experiencing the same thing that I was experiencing.
Some people like the pretty boy El Jabbar type dude. I wasn't never into them. They was too pretty. I couldn't do the pretty boy shit.
No,
you can't take longer to get ready.
So why is it that why is it this such a big issue in our community, right? Although there are black Chinese, there are black Cubans, there are black Asians, and it's kind of going on everywhere.
It's going on now. Like, I even see where women strategically have children from certain men, so their children are not dark.
Men have,
they'll
go with the
lighter-skinned women. Like, I literally was watching, because I watch some reality TV, so I was watching.
Hold on, I thought.
What?
Because when you said that, no, I remember the first day I brought my wife home, and my mother and sister was at the door, and it was like, who is this white girl at our door? And I was like, what do you mean white? Like, this is a Haitian. She's like, this girl white. I don't believe I got to see her parents. And sure enough, white, light, bright eyes and all that other stuff. But that was just funny. Go ahead, though.
So I was watching Married at First Sight.
What's that?
It's a show where.
Oh my goodness.
I know, but I just watched it.
Go ahead.
I like to watch the show because I don't know what it is about it that I really like to watch. I think love is a beautiful thing. That's one reason why I watch it. But I always like to see how creative people are getting over time, and if black people doing this shit.
Go ahead.
It is. Mm-hmm. So it was a couple where they were, first when they go through the process of finding mates, they were, I think this city was Atlanta, and they were down to the matching process. I think they had like the last 20, like they narrowed it down to 20. Out of the 20 of those people, they had black men who did not want to match with black women.
Right.
They only wanted white women. And that panel of psychologists, doctors, or whatever say, we're not matching you then. Because what we don't do is pin, like, it looks kind of bad when you got 15 black women looking to be paired, and it's 15 black men, but out of the 15 black men, 10 of them don't even want black women.
But that could also be a fear of the procreation or the growth of the black community in itself. Like, you got to think how much they have done to try to sterilize us.
But it was disheartening to see that our black men don't even want us anymore because, and a lot of them was saying, yeah, well, I can't deal with the attitude. Or, yeah, well, and they misconstrue what the attitude is. They're not even trying to understand what that is.
It's a video I'm going to play later, not now, like, in this episode that we're gonna get on, that's touching that very thing right there, because that's a learned behavior. Like, what about the doll baby experiment? Like, the doll baby experiment
broke my heart.
Right, you got a doll baby, you got a black baby and a white baby in there, and then you bring these kids in there and tell them to choose which one that they want, and majority of them choose the light baby, and then you ask them, is because they
were young children. They were like young. Under 5, right?
Kindergarten, first grade, no older than that. And then to hear a young girl say, "Oh, because black is ugly."
It's like, where does that come from? Does that come from an argument that a mom came home from work saying so-and-so treated me differently because I know it's because I'm black, or this happened with so-and-so because I'm dark. I know that's why. Like, where did that child get that from? Are they seeing it on TV?
What do you see on TV? Or even at that time, what only thing you really was seeing on TV?
You know what, to be honest with me, I ain't see all that growing up. Like, I was like, for real shit, I was a Sesame Street kid. And in Sesame Street and Reading Rainbow and all of that, we ain't have all that. Mm-hmm. You had Mr. Rogers, but I ain't never seen no black people on Mr. Rogers.
But despite the story that you said with your mom earlier, you got to give her kudos on this part because she was protecting you in the same time. You get what I'm saying?
In what situation? As far as favoritism situation?
No, not the favorite. Like, that may have been a effed up part on that aspect, right? But as far as what you was exposed to visually, right? Because outside of the Sesame Street, the Reading Rainbows and things that we grew up on, like,
and I used to sneak and watch Benny Hill every once in a while.
What's that? Okay, that's too old for me.
That's too old.
You went back too far.
Yeah, I went back too far. But
that's
Benny
when the
Hill,
TV was cutting off at midnight.
Fuck you.
Wake you up in the middle of the night like, what is this noise? That's at grandma's house. But but I think like just seeing that, like I think that was a big part of why we wanted to start the production company. Not the only reason, but we wanted our younger children to be able to see themselves in these star positions. Right. So whether it be the main lady or the leading guy, like no, you can be that, but our generation didn't see much of that.
We didn't.
It was spotted. You had the Sidney Poitiers, you had the Denzels,
Imitation of Life.
Right.
But it was about colorism.
Right.
You have the Dorothy Dandridges and the Josephine Bakers. They were not dark. You know what I'm saying? And I Love Lucy. I Love Lucy didn't have no black people in it. It was like, why all this black and white stuff in it? There ain't no black people. You know? So it was, so growing up, there's a song called Black Woman. It's called I'm a Black Woman.
By who?
Danielle Epps, I think. I forget her name. The girl from Orange is the New Black.
Her name is Danielle. I've never seen it.
Well, her name is Danielle. I get the last name for you. But she has a song where it's called I'm a Black Woman. And she says, in the beginning, she says, you look at me like I'm unfamiliar, acting brand new like you never knew that you like them thick. And then she goes into talking about how you want my complexion, but you don't want what comes with it. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like you want my thighs, you want your lips, you want them hips, you want my eyes, but not this melanin.
Yeah.
You want my hair, but you don't care for this complexion. So it's like she's really giving it to people like in a way. And she say what you would do, you'll find a familiar package with no pigment. I ain't ignorant. It's just reality. And it's like you'll find a light skinned chick, but you're gonna give her a curly, coily look. But she now
is what I said before. You can never
imitate a dark woman,
right.
But you will say I got a black woman, but she's clearly biracial or light skinned,
right.
But just want to say she's black. You get what I'm saying? But you can't put nobody so dark on the film because she's not appealing to the masses.
Right.
We got to get somebody who kind of thread that line of black and white.
Right.
So she's not.
And that's where it goes. It doesn't go into because you got a lot of especially in our field in entertainment with acting and music and things like that. You have plenty of gifted, talented women or men, of the dark persuasion, but they get chosen over because of the skin color type thing.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's a big deal when it comes to our society, but you got to go to history to be able to understand where it's at now. Like, to be able to know where we came from, to know that there would be no now if there was no us back then. Like, even when you talk about Africa, I think I brought this up before the show, how it's the land of Kemet, right? Kemet means the land of dark people. So there's something good about these dark people. If that had to be the first civilization and the people of the Nile and the Nile River over there, for you all who don't know, to be able to give you a geographic location. The Nile River, of course, is by Egypt. So you're talking about the Kemetic people or Kemetic teachings that we still follow that this day. These come from dark-skinned people. These are the people, the first civilization, the first organized government in our history. So everything has been copied off of them. So how can we copy something and then turn around and say that it's bad, it's ugly, it's this, it's that? Like even you look at the black cat. What do we say about the black cat for the longest?
Bad luck.
Bad luck. Why is black bad luck? Why is black bad? Period.
Yeah.
Like I think that's a crazy thing. But going on into the go.
No. Go ahead. Finish. Finish with the history.
Done.
Because because you were talking about Africa. I watched this documentary called Skin, and it's starring Beverly Naya, and I forget the director's name, but it's on Netflix and you can view it on Netflix, and it's called Skin. And when I tell you, it's talking mostly about the African culture, Nollywood, the Nigerian Hollywood of Nigeria, and it's based in Africa, but that's considered the genre that it fits in. But what it talks about is the dark skin, how bleaching of the skin is so popular.
Gonna get into that. Yeah.
I had a question around the bleaching.
Ooh.
They bleach their skin because certain men don't want the dark women in Nigeria.
Oh, I saw that.
This
That's
is like
right.
Africa. Hello,
yeah,
like
they kicked the ladies, had children with the ladies, and then tell the ladies go back home to their parents and stuff.
Yeah,
so, yeah.
And then I had it was so many different stories because she interviewed different women. She's actually a model. She's a model and an actress of Hollywood, Nollywood. And she did this documentary. I almost did it. I didn't do it. I didn't do it. I did not freaking do it. Let me finish my point.
Wrong vowel sound.
Shut your ass. So she did this whole thing, and The one thing that I could say, I pulled from the whole project, but the one thing I could say I pulled from it is every time she asked a dark woman a question about her skin and how she felt about it, they could be in the happiest moment in that interview. They can be talking about everything great in their life, and then they can say, how do you feel being dark? Immediately, their faces change and shift to an unhappy place, and you can see them come back to to try to lighten it.
Right. It's taught behavior. Go ahead.
It's taught, and it's so hurtful. People don't get it. One woman actually couldn't pull herself out of that moment. She asked her, because she used to bleach, and I think she makes the bleaching creams and stuff like that because they got to make a living. And she said she used to bleach, but she can't afford to. It's very expensive in Nigeria. Like, you could be a millionaire, and we could be millionaires in Nigeria, but over there, $12 is like hard to come by or whatever.
Right.
So they asked her this one question about her skin and her bleaching, and she said, I can't afford to do it no more. And she said, but I wish I could just be me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I wish it was just okay to be in this color.
Now, right there, can we please stay there right for a quick second? You said, can I just be me? And
it's so hard for them to feel that way.
For dark-skinned people, period, because we get labeled as angry or overly aggressive.
Yes, like the darker you are, the angrier you are. Like, where does that come from?
Right. So what's wrong with being unapologetically us and our dark skin and our attitude and our very nature?
Right.
Like,
just accept that shit and make it beautiful and make it wonderful.
Most won't, though.
Yeah. Just like anything else, you capitalize. You got a fat ass, you capitalize. You got a business, smart, savvy idea, capitalize. Anything you have, capitalize. Capitalize on your dark skin. Make it something that's a beautiful. Change the face of the world by making it a beautiful thing, even if you have to be the one to start that shit.
Right, and that's what it takes.
Saying?
It takes for them individuals to say, "I really don't care." The Viola Davises, the India, Khairy,
the me's,
the Tadra Brunsons. Like it's you have to really own that and be like, yo,
yeah,
if
like
you
ain't
accept
nothing
me how
wrong
I am,
with me.
Right.
The ones I look up to, I thank God for them for more than one reason. I love Viola Davis. She is my inspiration.
Yeah.
Like.
She doing the damn thing.
She doing the damn thing.
With her natural
with
look.
her natural self.
Yeah.
And what I love about her is I needed to see somebody like her for more than one reason. One, because of age. You age out in certain parts of this industry.
Age different though,
but
man.
Yes, we do.
Look at
and
Angela
that's
Bassett.
a great thing.
Look at Angela Bassett.
I'm telling you, it's a great thing, and it scares people. That's why we can.
Listen.
That's one thing about the industry. White people don't understand black age, so we can be 32 for like 10 years after.
Forever.
20 years after.
Black don't crack.
But the thing that I love about Viola Davis is not only her rawness and her realness, and her darkness. It's like to see that it like when I saw her get her first award, she cried a little bit, and I cried with her because you look on, you see people on stage and you see them crying, right? But you, as a dark woman, seeing her crying, you could see every adversity in those tears. You can see every disappointment, every turn down, every let down, every closed door. You see it in those tears. And when she got that award, it was like, in spite of all the shit, all the strongholds, in spite of all that, I still made it. And that's why when the eyes don't lie.
She owned it.
She owned it.
She owned it.
And I love that, I can look at her and be hopeful and love something so naturally. Just love somebody about being so natural about themselves. That day she exposed herself on that show, Got Away with Murder. Yeah. Man, she took every lash off. She took the makeup off. She took her wig off. And she just showed her real self. The rating shot up.
But think about in our time growing up, we didn't have that.
We didn't.
Like you're seeing that now in the latter, not even the latter, the middle part of your life. Like you didn't see that at the beginning. That could have affected you in a whole totally different way. But now seeing it, it encourages you. Yeah, it inspires you. Yeah, it does all these things in a positive way. But it's like, you still have to.
But I have a question though.
Okay.
Like in the industry, you look down at the darker women. The darker they are, the angrier they are. Even black men.
Well, okay, in the industry, I don't think it's looked down. Well, I do think it's looked down, but I think it's the way that it's used. You'll have these dark women or dark-skinned women or black women in itself. in these compromised positions, and you're quick to throw them in those positions and put them, instead of putting them in wholesome, respectable,
yes,
right?
like,
you don't show them in respectable positions. You show them in subordinate,
hood,
right? You're a hoe.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. Halle Berry getting her first award after playing Monsters Ball.
Right. And Training Day for Denzel Washington.
Right.
Like, what the fuck?
And Lupita in 13 Years a Slave.
Right. And
beautiful black woman too. Beautiful. That black shine, gloss.
Yeah, she is beautiful. Her eyes. And she actually has a book. My daughter.
Children's book.
Yes, it's called Sulwi.
Yeah.
And it explains what the night means and how the daylight and the night. I'm telling you, she wrote that book. It was a beautiful book. And Sulwi in the African language means night. So anywho, I wanted to say something about the dark skinned women. So we see how we talk about how women in the industry. It seems like dark skinned women in the industry have a harder time getting in. But I kind of feel like the dark men get a chance faster than being darker in the industry.
Is it a harder time getting in? Is it a harder time getting in the industry, or is it what you're willing to accept once you get in the industry? Because
what's appealing? Because we talk about that.
Because what you see, like even one of my favorite shows now, John Singleton's last produced show, Snowfall.
I haven't seen that yet. I want to watch it.
It's a lead dark-skinned brother from
Moonlight?
Britain. No, he's from Cross Seas.
Oh,
he's from Cross Seas.
Okay.
Yeah, he's from Cross Seas.
Okay.
Him and the guy from All American, matter of fact, they're both from Cross Seas, dark-skinned brothers. But it's the positions that you're willing to take in those jobs, right? So if you're willing to play a prostitute, ex-dope addict, or a single mama with issues, or a lesbian, and all, if you're willing to accept it, they'll get you in there. But
not only that, sometimes seeing us in those roles it looks different when it's a black director.
I was going somewhere though. I was going somewhere with it because you said why is it so hard? What you have is most black women, they have integrity. And some of them don't want to play the stereotypical roles. They don't want to go in there and play the usual thing. They kind of want to be innovative. They want to be challenged. They want to be put in the same platform as our lighter skinned people. So in that aspect, the fellas are willing to take the dope dealing pimps. And not all of them, because you see Robert Townsend and Denzel and them, they talk about that.
I'll be a pimp.
But it's
I'm just kidding. I would though.
You pimping them hoes?
I pimp the house.
Whatever. My favorite movie,
Harlem
Nights. Make me shoot that black crusty goddamn toe off. If you see Harlem Nights, y'all go check it out.
I play a madam. I'm just saying.
But if you know you have the skill. Right, in the lead role, they gave it to some white girl just because she's white and it's what they want to throw out to the masses. But you know that you're just as talented as her, but they're not giving you the opportunity to compete for it. Right, you're willing to compete for it.
Just let me compete.
Just let me
fight
try.
for the position.
If I lose it, I'll lose it with grace, no problem.
Exactly.
I'll celebrate
Give
you
me
and
the
everything
option
you
and the
want.
choice.
But the option is never given. The choice is never given.
It's turned down beforehand.
Right,
like
that's
before
what was so powerful about Black Panther and the image that it gave off, because you saw these women not in abusive positions or getting abused positions, but they were actually
queens and
not the queen. They was the actual backbone of the country. They was the protectors
of course, but I'm just saying,
king.
like his mom was like this.
Oh yeah.
You know, his sister was big on. I could tell that's
technology.
your thing.
Yeah, Angela.
You love her. That's your boo.
Right.
You know, that's your boo.
She married though. I ain't trying to husband. I don't need to come.
Yeah,
he the president of SAG too, and we in that
industry.
Oh yeah,
we don't want that.
So that's the type of stuff we're talking about. Like that. Like we don't want that pressure on that. You know what I'm saying? We love you in all respect, and we honor you, queen.
You.
And you too, king. Trust me, we got you. We see you.
We got y'all.
And that's actually two dark skinned
people.
I still see you
as the preacher from the preacher's wife.
Huh? He in Lovecraft Country too?
He is. I have to subscribe
I haven't seen
to
that
that.
Yet. I ain't seen that yet.
It's on Hulu. I got a lock on it, so I guess I got to pay for that.
HBO.
Well, see, I don't have cable. They have Hulu. They have it on Hulu.
So if you got Hulu, you can watch it?
But I think if you got HBO and Hulu.
I don't have HBO, but I got the Hulu.
See, but I can't watch it.
I got the
can't
Hulu.
Watch it.
Hello.
I am here.
Anyway. Hey, that was another thing right there. That Taylor Swift and that whole Beyonce thing right there. That was a situation too.
Other side.
All right, we got a question over here from Erica. What's going on? What's popping? What's cracking lacking?
There's no question.
We just going too far.
Oh, she got a statement. No,
what I was saying was Lovecraft Country, the last episode.
That's from the guy from Get Out.
Can you let her say
sorry.
Question?
Sorry.
No question.
What a statement.
But the last episode pretty much dealt with the wife feeling like she had to shrink herself down because of her skin, because of her role as being a wife. And then there's the sister who had an issue because she was more qualified than the lady who got hired to work at the store. So she went to school, she got all these things done, but it was 1950. She was black and dark and full-figured woman. So they were like, no, you can't have it. But then when she went back in there, they had a black young woman in there, but she was young and she was thin, and she was a little lighter than her. So
she was more acceptable.
Still more acceptable.
She was acceptable.
See, and
definitely.
that's why I own my thickness. Forget that, because now
you
that's
own
the
everything
issue.
about you.
I do. I really do, and I really
parachute
really
draws.
do. Shut your ass up. I really do own everything, even my parachute draws without a crack, y'all.
Without a crack.
I'm telling you, I got a unibutt right now.
I'm not going into that or commenting on that.
But anyway, that's what I wanted to say. Like, I even in Queen Sugar, it's the same situation. You got the one who's like
she gay, right?
No,
Nova.
Nova.
My fault. I'm sorry. I was thinking of another show.
Yeah, Nova is actually.
She is bi.
Yeah, in real life.
No, I ain't talking about real. I'm talking about on the show.
On the show.
On
yes,
the show.
she is.
Because she with the white man, the police officer.
Right. And then she had female interest, and then she had a black dude as an interest too.
But why is she in that compromised position? Then
and
you got
she's
Light Bright
so
over
pro-black,
there. You got Light Bright over here who got the.
It's the controversy of it all. You get what I'm saying? And that's what I'm talking about. Like, but when you look at the dynamics, you can see the relationship has tension because of that. It's part of the reason.
Oh yeah, as far as the sisterhood.
Yes.
Right. One is treated better.
And one has a white mom.
Charlie was
mom.
she was left responsible for everything.
Now she's in this position where she's the coach of a I guess athletic team, or her husband, or she's the manager.
I missed the last season.
She's like the manager or something of.
I missed the last season, so I got to go back and catch up.
She has come out of that now, that role now. Like, she has the land, and she has the mill and all of that.
You talking about Charlie, right?
Yeah. So she's taking the initiative to
and
move
Nova is
out
with
of
the
that.
guy now. They're actually together.
No.
They're in a committed relationship.
Yeah.
With the
See,
cop,
I don't think
cop.
I saw the last season. I think the last season I saw with them was when they were in a bar together.
She's beautiful.
And she got spat on in the bar.
All right, so enough with all that Queen Sugar. All right, it's a good show. Y'all go check it out and go see what we was talking about for yourself. But Toddi, I want you to check out this video real quick.
Black or white females?
White girls.
Black girls, why you say that?
I said white girls.
Oh, you said white girls, why you say that?
You know they let you do it.
Yeah, you know, they let you do what you want, for sure. So you with a black girl right now, or you with a white girl?
I'm with a black girl.
With a black girl, all right. Or black or white female? That's tough.
A white female, I'm sorry, bro.
All right, why you say white?
I just like them, bro. That's just why I like black girls. They like to give a nigga attitudes and shit.
All right,
The fuck is that shit?
Woo. Hey, at least you.
Like, are you serious?
I expected you to be a little bit more on 10, so I'm kind of good. You're at 8 right here.
What the see?
That's that type of ish that'll make it throw it against the wall.
Listen,
right
that's
there.
the kind of shit that'll make a nigga get punched dead in their fucking mouth.
So what you thought about it?
I think it's sickening.
Yeah.
I think it's sickening. And me raising a house full of women makes it even more sickening, because this is the shit they got to deal with, their own men, their own race. Young. These are young men.
Young. Yep.
Okay, so y'all gonna hear it. Okay, so these young men are pretty much, y'all heard it. Y'all heard what it said. So these young men are
high schoolers.
Probably high school, maybe college,
Teenage.
maybe first year college, maybe. One or two of them look like they were. And their idea of a good relationship, I guess, is being with a woman who will let them do anything.
Yeah, basically control. They get to have their way, and I think that's where it was misconceptualized, because they're putting terms on.
Yeah, they're
the
giving
other
them a
woman.
title. They're giving them titles.
Queens, like you saying all this little stuff, but it's like that's not what you're honoring them with, because you're honoring them on being bed slaves, basically.
Pretty much. Oh, she got that good head. Them white girls got that super head. Sir, Vixen, super head.
Pretty much.
You got black women who can suck a real good dick.
She remembers my super head. But the thing with that is that a black woman is not. What I'll say with this, growing up at an all black school, one thing you did know is that the black girl wasn't going to do certain things. She just wasn't going to do it. She would tell you no and tell you to kiss her ass and go on about your business. You go to the other community, you're going to get everything and some for a Happy Meal.
Yeah. Even in, okay, well, yeah. Because I was gonna say, even in the Latin community,
Yeah,
they
yeah,
are
yeah,
very
yeah.
open to doing that.
Listen, I know a Latin
even
girl
they
in
have
college.
a sweet 15, so they come into motherhood much earlier than most.
And they know more about, like, you gotta think they're getting married around 17 or so, like in the Latin communities and stuff like that. Even when they come over here, like I've had girls when I was in college who would tell me, "Hey, quick, I'll give you some head." Like what? Like I come from all black school where you get punched in your face by a black girl if you ask her to do that, or even go in that area.
I've actually noticed that they're quicker to do oral sex than real sex.
I just said that, Negro.
No. But let me expound. Negro. What I'm saying is, it's like back in the day, that was a bonus. You get what I'm saying? That was actually my
go-to. Like, I deny some cat quick for some head. So I know I wasn't getting that from no sisters. So you just go over there and you get the little head monster and let her go on about her business. But I wasn't calling them no queens. I wasn't saying that that's what I desired, because at the same time, I had a dark-skinned mother at home who let me know real quick what was accepted in our household.
Let me ask you a question, though.
Uh-oh.
Okay, because I have a hard time with that, because I knew somebody else who said that.
It's a true fact. I'm giving you insight.
No. But it's not just you. That's why I'm asking.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you could, since I have you as a male.
Go ahead.
Stop pointing that shit at me. And you as a male could probably tell me what it is in the thought process. Mm-hmm. Okay, so like me. I don't like pretty boys. I don't like them.
Like them rough around the edges?
I like them rough around the edges, but I like them a certain color or whatever. I am somewhat pretty boys I'm not into.
Right.
He could be a dark, pretty skinned boy. Pretty
so
boy.
What's your question?
So the question to me is, with your rude ass, if y'all not interested in dating like if you look at black women as queens and that's what you want and whatever, how is it so easy to have sex with so many different other cultures if that's not your shit? I think, like, how do you find it still attractive? Is it the act itself that you actually like, or is it, and it doesn't matter what it looks like to you, or is it something that you truly desire? This was just like your fucking around, farting around days, like you just like.
You're talking about two different points of life. You're talking about a man in my manhood, and you're talking about in my teenage years. So in my teenage years, even though I respected the black women, I respected them enough to not ask them for it because I didn't want to get cussed out and all that. So I went where I knew I was going to get it from, right? So
okay,
but that wasn't saying I wanted to be with that other community or culture or whatever it is. It's just
but
saying,
you could be with them sexually, and that was like
not even sex. I just wanted some head.
Okay, well you could be with them headly. Shit, what the fuck would I call that?
Look, just give me
oral sex is sex.
It's head and go.
Head and shoulders.
Head and shoulders.
Head, shoulders, knees and toes, knees and toes. Head, shoulders, get on them toes, wow, wow, wow.
What's the Kaya song? My neck, my back,
lick my, and my.
No.
What?
No.
I got into it.
I know we wasn't no licky in teenage days. No.
That's true.
Yeah, some Negroes was nasty though. Them Negroes at the West was lined up.
Some even licked a couple.
Ain't no excuse.
Some even licked a little booty hole or two, and they was just like, "Oops, my bad."
My bad. Like, what the heck? But listen, so and I was saying all that to say it. In my perspective and how I look at it, I think it's more of disrespect than the other cultures. To me. And I was honoring mine.
But what's that like? I would just want to know, like,
I went courting
in your head, like, was it like
there was no courting?
Disrespect me a whole real quick.
There was no courting. There was no dating. There was no go out on the date.
I know, but that's what I'm saying. You said it was kind of disrespecting the other culture.
I'm gonna bring you on the side of my mama's house. I got open space over there.
Give me that sloppy top.
Give me that fellatio, and I'll drop you back home.
But that's what I'm saying. But you said it was kind of a feeling of disrespecting the other culture by doing that to them. It wasn't like a slap in the face, like,
I know that was,
y'all, bitch, y'all.
It's disrespectful if they're willing to do it, and you know that they're willing to do it. You're like, hey, I'm gonna take advantage of what's available. So I'm gonna go ahead and.
So you were weighing your options.
And hell no, I was just taking advantage of the option that was given to me. And
Which was the head option.
The head, I ain't even want to smash. Just get the head and going on about my business, and you know,
bust a few caps off.
And I was talking to African and
shooting
and
the
New
club
Orleans
up.
too. I was talking to African. She's legit from Africa. It wasn't no disrespect going on there because her brothers and none of them weren't playing that. Her mom, none of them was playing that ish. But yeah, he's so disrespectful, motherfucker.
I'm sorry.
They gonna chain your ass up and let the lions come get you.
I'm sorry. I am so sorry for this.
Sorry for this.
I wanted to make a joke with my co-partner.
But they did not work. We ignore every clue given.
Erica like, pull that shit back.
We like, no, nigga, we in the moment.
We got the hair. We got the hair.
But listen, like, I think my generation of fellas, man, you don't get that goddamn point out my face. Like a lot of the brothers that I grew up with, they're with sisters. They love sisters. They're with sisters, and you know. It's not
look
saying,
at us. Look how much fun we having.
It ain't about the fun.
Two dark people.
I mean, but yeah, it is the fun. Yeah, and listen, y'all a roller coaster ride all in itself, though.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I could not always pick fun with my friends.
It's a good thing. Everybody like roller coasters. Islands Adventure, U-Fair, Universal Studios, Tower Drop, whatever. Huh?
I always pick fun at my friends because I
Black women is an experience, okay?
It is.
You motherfucker, it is not.
An experience.
You are not just gonna skate around on tippy toe with black women. Like if they have an issue, that issue is gonna be brought up. If you weak in some area, that shit is gonna be brought up. So
yes,
it's a roller coaster
and that's
ride.
Fun.
You gotta hold on.
That's the way it should be. That's the way it should be. Instead of clearing out an account.
First, why I had to clear that up? I said that clearly. I said that black women is like a roller coaster ride.
Emotional roller coaster.
It's a roller coaster ride.
I don't know.
Niggas go to the youth for what? The roller coasters.
I don't ride roller coasters.
Y'all do be riding roller coasters.
I ride dick.
That's what I was going to.
Yeah,
that's what I was going to. Just gave you the alley hoop, nigga. I ain't want to say it out loud, but you should say it for me.
I said for you.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. So that's what I'm talking about right there.
Well,
but with that video though, but serious, going back to that video. So when you look at that video, I think I've
been trying to say this shit for the longest.
I know it's cool. It's gonna come out. I think it's a portion of self-hate in there, right? Because the way these brothers are talking, there's no honoring the sisters. There's no admiring the sisters. There's no respecting the sisters. It was blatant disrespect going on in the way that they was describing women, whether it be through the attitude, whether it be through the mannerisms that they was describing colored women having, and they were uplifting the white women. So in that way, that was definitely self-hate, and it bothered me a lot, you know what I'm saying? Even when I posted that video, you know what I'm saying? I was getting a whole bunch of comments and stuff like that, but it was just like, I'm trying to answer this without getting angry. Too crazy. Right. Because this is my thing. Because I love my black women, I love my black people, but I'm not, me being pro-black doesn't mean I hate everybody else. Right? My son's godparents are white. So that's not, so I'm very conscious on how I deliver my feelings and statements and things like that. But in that video, that disturbed me on a whole
another level.
Yeah, definitely did. So we got to deal with that self-hate. That self-hate only dealt with at home. It's dealt with the images that we accept in music videos and things like that. So you a hoe out of black girl real quick. Real quick. But
like you remember BET back in the day? It was uncensored.
No, you talking about uncut.
I'm talking about BET. Fuck that.
Uncut.
Oh yeah, that shit.
You talking about credit card.
Swipe.
Twist drill.
For me, it was like a black girl get on there with booty shorts and she stank.
But ain't no black girls ain't no white or Spanish girl had booties like that back in the days.
That's what I'm saying.
You couldn't credit card swipe.
That's what I'm saying. But they would put us on at night and like, nigga, you know ain't nothing back there. It's a limit on it. It's a limit on it. It's gonna prove.
That shit declined.
Because of you. But I always
booties matter too.
Little booties matter, little booties.
You can't say that.
I can't.
Go ahead.
I gotta hand out some of mine.
Go ahead. What about
now? Uncut? I used to say, okay, like for me, I used to always poke fun like with my friends. Like I still do that. Like I'm like, I don't want no pink dick. Like
what?
Pink dick. Like
nigga, what pink dick is you seeing?
A white man with the pink dick.
Pink dick?
Yeah, it's like doggy dick, like pink. It's like pink. Whoa. Like you ever seen a doggy dick?
Yeah.
Okay, and it's pink when it erect. Okay, so now all white men don't have pink dicks.
I thought you were talking about uncircumcised.
No,
I thought you were
just
talking about the anteater coming out.
The anteater. Well, that's what I'm saying. Like period. They pink. I don't like pink dick. I don't like it pink. So
you need some melanin on them.
Melanin on the dingling. But but that's not the real reason. I don't want a pink dick. I probably have to put a black lifestyle on them. What I'm saying is I want to be able to come home and vent about something racial that happens to me, and I need my other part to understand.
Okay.
Like if I go to my white counterpart, if he is my man, I want to be able to come home and say, today Brenda, or no, it wouldn't be Brenda, Karen, was being racially profiled me, and I know that, and he's like, nah, babe, I don't think that's what it is. No, babe, that's what it was.
I think that's what you saw and witnessed when everything started happening with the George Floyd, the Breonna Taylor, the Arbery, and the things started happening. you started to see these interracial couples, Serena Williams and her husband. Yeah. And you started seeing them having to
even Viola Davis' husband, I think. No, Viola got a black husband, not Viola.
Why would you
not
be
Viola?
So
I know Viola got a black man. My bad. It was it's not her. It's
and definitely not Angela Bassett.
No, Angela Bassett. No, she got the preacher.
But what I was saying was that during that time made them have to have these hard conversations. Why you still think of that with your amnesia? But they had to have these conversations that aren't comfortable because you don't know if your spouse who's from another community is able to relate to what you're going through or even want to relate. Because during that time, you also saw on social media that I saw specifically from black women. I saw 3 posts on Instagram where they talked about how one of them talked about how they secretly found out her boyfriend was calling her niggers in group chats with his friends, but he was texting right next door, right? Oh, this nigga over here overdoing it again. She's being extra over here and all this extra stuff. So it's like, yo, it's so much.
Or the Halloween costumes. One is playing Harriet Tubman.
The blackface. No, the blackface.
Yeah,
the blackface.
It's like, really? Like one is a slave master and she played a slave. Like, are you serious?
That's interesting. So we didn't even bring that up like that. But let's talk about the blackface, because the blackface was something that was very detrimental to the image of black people.
Yes.
So because you talk about the blackface, they was only used as comedic roles or
but why
slow
not hire
roles
a black person in that place?
Right.
Why you got a black face yourself instead of putting somebody dark skin who is better at it, because you imitating me. You taking my culture from me. You have remade so much of what I've done, and now you want to bring yourself in there with a black face instead of hiring who you actually stole the shit from?
Here's the crazy thing with that, though. You would think associate blackface with 60s, 50s, 70s type thing. It actually happened in the new millennium. What was the movie that Robert Downey Jr. was in? And it was all in the army. And he did the blackface.
Is it
Tropical Thunder? No,
no. You talking about when he was
Tropical Thunder. Tropic Thunder.
Yeah.
And he played the blackface.
You trying to tell me you the dude that's pretending to be the dude, acting like the dude.
Right. And so it was one of them type of things like, y'all can't go hire a black man. You telling me we won't have no funny black man who can put on this accent and do this, but you hire a white man just because of the name.
But then what they did, they played in the story like he was something going on. Like he had an identity issue. You know what I'm saying?
That was the cover up for it.
Yeah. And it was like, people found that shit funny. But let us try that shit.
We wouldn't try. We never tried to imitate nobody else.
Let's just say, like, I get a lot of flack in the I don't get a lot of flack, and if I do, they don't come to me with shit because I'm one of those black people that will say something.
Oh, that's
I am a black actress that has been booked roles, thank God, that were blind casting. I was Mrs. Hannigan in Annie. How many black Hannigans have you seen? Even on the screen, you saw a black Annie.
Talk that.
But you don't see a black Hannigan.
Right. And you talking about in the theater circuit, too.
In the theater circuit. I haven't seen that since Nell Carter. And my thing is, this is in the theater circuit where people like, well, why we can't just hire a red? We got a whole slew of white women auditioning for this role, and the black girl gets it. Yeah, bitch.
But you had somebody who looked at the talent, who wasn't looking at the color, but the talent. And it was like, hey, this is the only person that could portray this role the way we needed to be portrayed.
I outsung, I outdanced, I out everything. Huh? And even with Ursula. With Ursula.
No, not Ursula.
With the
Ariel,
the current,
the twin.
The current, yes.
Yeah, the twin. What's
from
Huh? Oh yeah, they not twins.
This is too much.
The ones who sing with Beyonce.
Oh, this is too much.
Which one got it? Chloe?
Halle.
And boy, there was so much backlash on that just because we saw little white Ariel growing up with Disney. Yeah. They had a problem with this sister getting this role. But guess what? You probably wouldn't have found many white girls who could hit notes like her though.
And Queen Latifah was Ursula.
She was?
In the Broadway, in the live version.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's like people be real mad.
Mad.
And it's like, what happened to Talented? And when I did the show, when I did Annie was black. Mm-hmm. And so was I.
That. Yeah.
So it's like, okay, now y'all really need to check your shit, because we could book roles that were traditionally white roles, but we ain't got a black face to do it.
But that's always
white face to do it.
We've always been able to be
always
so
been
multitasked and talented.
Multi-talented, yeah.
No, it's you're able to do multiple things. Like,
yeah,
there's plenty black actors and actresses I could see put on a one-man show. That's why I say task and talented. It ain't no clean.
Okay.
I meant what I said. So,
okay.
So who do you see mostly doing the one-man shows?
What you mean one-man shows?
You never heard of the one-man show where they playing like 20 different roles?
Well, I know like David Chappelle does that.
Not really.
Well, he does different characters on his show.
That was the show he had, the Chappelle show. I'm talking about
What you
actually
mean,
do a
theater.
theater.
I have never seen.
Go look it up. Definitely, there are theater circuit shows that you have one actor playing like 20 roles.
I've heard of them. I've just never seen it in the black.
This
in
is
the
what
black
I'm talking
world.
about. The task, the talented. Like, they're able to compact this and do this. Like, I think there is somebody now doing it.
It's a white guy. I mean, it's white or black. Somebody white
He's
or black.
Black guy. Oh my gosh, I can't think of this dude name, man.
And he doing a one-man show?
Yeah, but he talked about how he's doing.
He's a comedian?
Oh shit. Malik Yoba.
Oh, Malik Yoba. Him?
Yeah.
I met him years ago. He's such an asshole.
Yeah.
I met him a long time ago. Ooh.
Moving right along. We're gonna move right along on that. We ain't gonna give Yoba no time here at all.
Exactly.
So keep going doing your thing, sir. But,
and lick them lips. Keep licking them lips. Keep licking them powdered donuts. That New York Undercover. You nigga, you can't get no chapstick.
Listen, New York Undercover was the ish, but
It was.
what he talking about and doing now, I ain't on all that right there. Yeah, he going over all that. But that's what I mean by, like, listen, we can do these type of things. We have that range. Like, even when I look at you.
And I think that's what's so fucking scary.
And that's the thing when I look at actors like you.
Thank you.
Sharina Cox.
Yeah.
You know, even KT over here. Like, you can play Katana Malone.
Mm-hmm.
You can play these multifaceted roles. You can play not just the stereotypical role. You the angry black woman, or you the hurt black woman, or you the hoeing black woman. Like, that's not all for y'all. That's not the ceiling for you all. You all can do so much more, but you aren't given the opportunity to. Unlike you, when you went into Annie. I remember when you told us about that, and we was all excited because we was shocked. Like, they actually got a dark-skinned Annie.
And like, everybody ate that shit up. But you want to know the funny question that I got you every night, no matter what. What I got every night.
Damn. Go ahead.
Is your butt real?
You got a big ass booty, Toddi.
Stop talking about that. No, I don't. But
your shit disproportionately wide.
You know what? Fuck.
You know on I-10 when you go and you see them trucks and that shit say wide load.
Fuck you. Fuck you very, very much.
No. I was just playing. You know I love you. Y'all listen, this is the brother-sister relationship that we have with each other, that we're able to do this. All right? And we both chocolate over here. What?
Nothing.
Now she mad with attitude.
I'm like motherfucking ganache, nigga. I'm like motherfucking Godiva in this motherfucker. See, that's how high class I am. I said ganache, nigga. You know what ganache? I'm that silky smooth on your ass.
I'm Godiva.
Like,
I know Godiva.
No, I'm Godiva, nigga.
I'm Godiva, that rich
that
chocolate.
Ganache. No, ganache.
That's
nigga. You know what ganache is?
Chocolate right there. That shit just
that ganache is that silky smooth shit that you just ooze over everything. Yo, everybody fuck with that. Everybody.
All right, yo, we hope y'all enjoyed that. This definitely gonna probably have to be a part 2 to this.
Yes.
But listen, we gonna go ahead and get into our next segment, Memoirs of a Mama.
You're so high.
All right, now this is the portion of the show where we do Memoirs of a Mama. This is where mothers get to vent about raising their children, or having issues with raising their children. So they may have some rebounds in that department. So I wanted to talk about support groups for moms. I do believe it's very important for us to have support groups in our state, because right now we deal with so much dealing with our children, and our children are dealing with so much. And since social media is kind of running the world, we want to be able to get into the heads of our children. So we have support groups that are out there where they will help support moms in a way that they don't understand. You know, parenting back then for me, when I had my 22-year-old back then, it was easy. I had my first kid. I knew exactly what to do. I was helping raise my niece before I got pregnant. So I felt like I had a handle on motherhood. But then when I had my second daughter, I thought I could do the same thing, but children are different. They're not made the same. So you have to raise your children differently. And now you don't have one, you have two. Your support system changes. In the beginning, I had a babysitter all the time with my first child. But after you have your second child, people kind of dwindle away, and it's not as an important thing anymore, you know? So I was able to go online to look up different support groups that can help mothers to kind of cope with whatever it is that they're dealing with, to kind of get them on track in the parenthood department. So there are 10 groups that were put in as the top 10. And you'll be able to go to those groups and log in, and they have online services, and they have services within your city as well. So you can go to those groups. If you just type in, what I typed in was mother support groups. And a lot of different groups came up. One is called the meetup.com. The second one is called Mocha Moms Inc. And there are multiple online communities within that same bracket. And then you have Mothers and More, etc. And then if you want to take a holistic approach to it, they have Holistic Moms Network, which a lot of people don't believe in, medicating their children or beating their children. They have alternatives to how you take care of your children. So, ladies, just know that no matter what you're doing, you have to make sure that you always put yourself first and make sure you find the correct help to get you to the next level.
Welcome, fellas, gentlemen. You already know what time it is. We are back here for another edition of Diary of a Dad. And this is our little time where we get to come together in our space and we get to talk about what it is to be a black father and what it is to have, just the experience of being a father. So I'm going to keep it short and simple on the day. I want to read something to you guys with a fella texted his baby mama. I hope y'all ready for this. He said, me asking for a DNA test does not stop the way I feel for you or how I think about you. I just feel every guy should ask this before taking any step in being a father. It's something that sit on every male conscience to know if he's the father or not. It was on my mind since the day you told me I'm going to be a father, but felt like it was wrong to ask you. But my mother gave me the assurance to just make sure and that there was nothing wrong with that. Now, there's a couple of things wrong with this text. One, not every man questions or have that thought in their conscience. You know what type of man has that thought on his conscience? The man who doesn't trust his woman, the man who thinks that his woman is everybody's. That's the type of man that has that question on his mind. If you are questioning what type of woman you're with, maybe you shouldn't be sticking your dang in her. Maybe you should be considering the type of woman that you're having relations with. Me, when my wife became pregnant, there was no doubt that was mine because I knew the type of woman I was dealing with. There was no question in mind. The other thing that bothered me with this, he said, my mother gave me the assurance. Let me tell you something, fellas. One thing that a real woman doesn't want to hear is that you're getting information from your mom about you and her relationship. If this is you and her relationship, you and her need to deal with this, not bringing your mother or a third party into this conversation. So it sounds like we're dealing with a male here and not a man, because a man would take that head forward. A man would know what he was would be dealing with ahead of time. And so, yeah, I just wanted to point that out, fellas. Be careful who you're sleeping with. And don't bring your mom in all your business. It's some things that mama just got to sit on the outside on the sideline and she shouldn't be involved in. And this is one of those things. All right? This is our episode of, or our edition of Diary of a Dad. All right, ladies and gentlemen, y'all already know. Whew. Listen, I got to sit and take a deep breath after that. That was a lot.
That was a lot. And it needed to be talked about because I think a lot of us don't get to talk about all the stuff that we've been through in this color.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We kind of.
It's a lot dealing with this blackness, baby.
Mm-hmm.
But guess what? It's beautiful and it's rich. But
yes, it is.
We'll get to that in part 2. So right now, you already know this part of the show that we get into our CTA. We give y'all a little bit of mind food. And Toddi couldn't say it with me because she over there focusing on her CTA right now. So she just straight up ignoring me. So I'm going to go ahead and then I'm going to get into my CTA. Is that okay with you, ma'am?
That's okay with me.
Ooh, not documentary.
Whatever.
I know you ain't documenting.
I know you ain't talking about your hooray of items that you bring up. Hooray for you. Hooray.
So you gonna act like these little chillin' out here?
It's a celebration in this bitch.
So you gonna act like these chillins out here? That's
hooray,
what we doing?
hooray.
Okay.
No, these children.
Okay.
We just gonna act like children.
Okay. Listen, y'all, we don't want to give y'all just a whole bunch of conversation as much as we love sitting here debating and talking about certain situations and circumstances that go on in our community. We definitely want to leave you with some type of solution or some type of thought that you can apply to your life. So we're going to go ahead and give y'all a little bit of mind food. It's not that white is right and black is wrong. The reason that lighter skinned individuals are more desirable is because that those are the kind of faces we constantly see in the media, advertisement, and music videos. And sadly, some believe it can have a social and economic benefit to having lighter skin. So I'll say this, and I'll leave it like this. No matter what mainstream pushes, it's the duty of every parent to teach our children that black is beautiful. Point blank and simple. You ready for your mind food, ma'am?
I'm ready.
Go ahead, give them some of that ganache.
I just want you all just to please just be conscious about what you say to a chocolate woman. When you say stuff like, oh, you pretty for a dark-skinned girl. Or you from here? You must be from another country because you don't look like you black. You know, sometimes you don't think it's offensive, but it's actually an offensive term. And don't touch my damn hair. Sorry, I had to get that shit off my chest. But sometimes it's just very offensive when you say stuff like that because it then turns to the person's eye to say, well, what's wrong with me? Why can't I be pretty in my color? So I just encourage parents, teach your children oneness because black, like Dee said before, black is something that it can be any color can be created from black.
They ain't hear me say that though.
Oh, they did?
Yeah, that was in the messed up tape right there. You just gave away one of my points for the part 2. Damn it, stealing my goddamn thunder over there. Go ahead with your black ass. Make me sick.
I can't stand this nigga. Okay, so.
No, you done said it now. Say the shit. Shit.
Black can be mixed in any color and be beautiful. So we sometimes have children of different colors, y'all. It don't mean one is better than the other because that's how a lot of sibling rivalry starts too, fighting each other because of the color. I personally went through that myself, so I know what that's like. So I tell you parents to just teach your children oneness in your homes. And for those who are out there in the industry, hire for talent. Don't hire somebody subpar just because they're not what you're looking for. And stop trying to hire a knockoff of something that should really portray a role. Don't do that. Because we can actually do what you tell us to do because we're just that talented. So look at the talent first and remember, we are just as good as anybody else.
Stop judging us by our goddamn skin color. Look at our intellect and our skills, all right? And that's what we got to say on this Mind Food on the day. And I may sound a little angry. What?
Yeah, because you sound hungry, so we going to feed you. That ganache.
That ganache. Listen, we thank y'all for joining us on this episode. Trust me, it's going to be a part 2 to this Complexion. We appreciate y'all for tuning in with us. Complexion reflection. She getting deep and philosophical over here, but we definitely going to be coming back with a part 2, all right? But we need y'all to do a couple of things for us. We need y'all to follow us on Facebook and Instagram at No Titles Necessary.
And on Twitter at No Titles Podcast. And if you have any questions or comments, go to notitlespodcast@gmail.com.
Ooh, shit, that shit. Hey, she ain't mess up. Hey, ooh,
Well, I mean, I could have.
She messed up still?
Okay. So no titles necessary. Podcast.
Damn, my big up and she
gmail.com.
fucked up.
Listen,
I was
how
covering
the fuck
you.
Now we talked about this shit before. We talked about this shit before where I said I needed to correct one.
Listen,
and
we
you
thank
said both
y'all
of them
for
work.
joining us on this show. We appreciate y'all. Make sure y'all tune in for part 2 with
Negroes,
us.
boy, I tell you, boy, Negroes, boy.
Peace.
Bye. I can't stand this nigga.
What did I do?
Yo, woke up feeling good, feeling better. Thank God for this weather. What you wanna do today? Yo, whatever. I be talking to myself, cause I know I get her. Yo, she dope and I love her. You would too if you met her. You be stupid to let her slip out of your vision. She be on the next flight for you see that she missing. And I know you don't get it. I just need you to listen. Yo, never let a nigga mess with your intuition, man.